From the moment we are born, we are hardwired to seek connection. As infants, our survival depends on the care and attention of our caregivers. This innate drive to form bonds with others shapes our earliest experiences and lays the foundation for our emotional and social development throughout life. Attachment theory, a cornerstone of developmental psychology, offers a powerful lens through which we can understand the profound influence of these early relationships on our adult lives. It posits that the quality of care we receive in infancy and childhood profoundly shapes our beliefs about ourselves, others, and the world around us. These early experiences, etched into the very fabric of our being, form internal working models or mental representations that guide our interactions with others. These models, often unconscious yet deeply ingrained, influence how we perceive and respond to intimacy, conflict, and emotional closeness in our adult relationships. Understanding attachment theory, therefore, is not merely an academic exercise. It is a journey of self-discovery, offering invaluable insights into our own relational patterns, emotional triggers, and capacity for intimacy. By illuminating the roots of our emotional blueprints, we can begin to cultivate more secure and fulfilling connections with ourselves and others. The origins of attachment theory can be traced back to the pioneering work of John Bowlby, a British psychiatrist and psychoanalyst in the mid-20th century. Bowlby, deeply moved by the plight of orphaned and institutionalized children during World War II, challenged the prevailing psychoanalytic view that infants' primary drive was for oral gratification. Instead, Bowlby proposed that infants have an innate, biologically based need for proximity to a primary caregiver, a figure who provides a secure base from which to explore the world. This drive for closeness, he argued, is as fundamental to survival as the need for food or shelter. Bowlby drew upon ethological studies of animal behavior, particularly the work of Konrad Lorenz on imprinting in geese, to support his theory. Just as goslings instinctively follow their mother, human infants, Bowlby observed, exhibit a repertoire of attachment behaviors such as crying, clinging, and following, designed to maintain proximity to their caregivers. This proximity-seeking behavior, Bowlby argued, serves an evolutionary function, increasing the infant's chances of survival by ensuring protection from predators and access to essential resources. Moreover, the caregiver's responsiveness to the infant's bids for attention and comfort fosters a sense of security and trust, essential for healthy, emotional, and social development. Bowlby's groundbreaking work laid the foundation for a paradigm shift in our understanding of early childhood development, emphasizing the critical importance of the caregiver-child bond in shaping our emotional well-being throughout the lifespan. Building upon Bowlby's foundational work, Mary Ainsworth, a Canadian-American developmental psychologist, revolutionized the field of attachment research with her groundbreaking strange situation experiments in the 1970s. These now classic studies provided empirical evidence for different patterns of attachment behavior in infants and their caregivers. The strange situation procedure involves observing infants' reactions to a series of brief separations and reunions with their primary caregiver in a controlled laboratory setting. By carefully coding infants' behaviors such as proximity seeking, contact maintenance, avoidance, and resistance, Ainsworth identified three main attachment styles: secure, anxious, ambivalent, later renamed anxious, resistant, and avoidant. Securely attached infants, Ainsworth observed, use their caregiver as a secure base from which to explore the environment. They exhibit distress upon separation but are easily comforted and readily resume exploration upon reunion. Anxious, ambivalent infants, on the other hand, display heightened anxiety and clinginess, even in the caregiver's presence. They become extremely distressed upon separation and are difficult to soothe upon reunion, often exhibiting a mixture of clinging and angry resistance. Avoidant infants, in contrast, appear relatively indifferent to the caregiver's presence or absence. They show minimal distress upon separation and actively avoid contact upon reunion, often focusing their attention on toys or the environment. These distinct patterns of attachment behavior, Ainsworth proposed, reflect the infant's internal working model of the caregiver's availability and responsiveness. Ainsworth's groundbreaking work not only provided empirical support for Bowlby's attachment theory, but also laid the groundwork for decades of research exploring the long-term consequences of early attachment experiences on emotional, social, and cognitive development. Section 4. Secure attachment, a foundation of trust and security. Secure attachment, considered the most adaptive attachment style, is characterized by a deep sense of trust, security and emotional connection between the child and caregiver. Children who develop secure attachments have caregivers who are consistently attuned to their needs, providing a safe haven in times of distress and a secure base from which to explore the world. These children learn that their emotional needs will be met, that their caregivers are reliable sources of comfort and support, and that they are worthy of love and affection. This sense of security fosters a positive self-image, a belief in the inherent goodness of others, and a capacity for healthy emotional regulation. Securely attached children tend to be more resilient in the face of challenges, exhibit greater empathy and social competence, and form more stable and fulfilling relationships throughout their lives. They are better able to navigate conflict, communicate their needs effectively, and seek support when needed. The foundation of secure attachment lies in the caregiver's ability to provide consistent responsive care, characterized by sensitivity to the child's cues, empathy for their emotional experiences, and a willingness to meet their needs in a timely and appropriate manner. This nurturing environment allows the child to develop a sense of trust and security, knowing that their emotional needs will be met and that they are loved unconditionally. Section 5. Anxious attachment, the yearning for connection. Anxious attachment, also known as ambivalent attachment, emerges from inconsistent and unpredictable caregiving. Children with this attachment style often have caregivers who are emotionally available at times but withdrawn or preoccupied at others. This inconsistency creates a sense of anxiety and uncertainty in the child, leaving them constantly on edge, craving closeness yet fearing rejection. They may cling to their caregivers, seeking constant reassurance and validation, yet also exhibit anger, resentment, and resistance towards them. This push-and-pull dynamic reflects their inner turmoil, a deep yearning for connection coupled with a fear of abandonment. In adulthood, this attachment style often manifests as a heightened sensitivity to rejection, a tendency towards jealousy and possessiveness in relationships, and a constant need for reassurance from partners. They may struggle with setting boundaries, have difficulty regulating their emotions, and experience intense emotional fluctuations in response to perceived threats to the relationship. The inconsistent caregiving they experienced in childhood created a blueprint for love and connection that is rooted in insecurity and fear. They learned that love is conditional, that their needs may not always be met, and that they must constantly strive for their caregiver's attention and affection.